And we're coming to you live from the Bill Fuller Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Friday morning. A feel-good summer Friday. And we had a great day yesterday over at Citi Field with the kids. And we got a victory. And I tell you, I just had the best time. Been to a million baseball games just like all of us have throughout our lifetime. But the first time that you bring your kid there and you get to, and I had both my daughters there, get to show them everything, and then everything becomes new again. And Mr. Met is actually Mr. Met, not some dude in a costume that I'm thinking, oh, my God, he must be hot. And, you know, when cotton candy comes around, you're like, you know what, it's okay today. Have the cotton candy. It's all right. We're going to have a great time. And then, oh, look, they're shooting T-shirts into the crowd. Like everything. I felt like a kid yesterday again. And, of course, big win. First shutout of the year as they continue to roll. And hopefully they take care of business now against the Colorado Rockies. And the Yankees, yes, they still have major issues. They need this all-star break more than maybe anybody in Major League Baseball. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
You know what? Good morning to G. And yes, it is a feel-good Friday. This potentially could be our last show, given what happened last night on TV. We may get invaded over the weekend. We'll see what happens. Joey, I mean, you can't make it up. But anyway, I am declaring today Jalen Brunson Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because today is the day that the Knicks can offer him his first extension, and because of the crazy salary cap rules and the amount of time he has spent in the league, and they could offer him about, a little less than $160 million over 4 years. And I'm going to tell you he's going to sign it, and I'm going to tell you why he's going to sign it. He's going to sign it for two reasons. Number one, because he's Jalen Brunson, and he loves the Knicks. He loves playing for the Knicks. I've read where he has said many times that the Knicks are his family. His longtime agent runs the Knicks. His father is a coach on the Knicks. He loves playing for Tom Thibodeau. And he also knows that the Knicks will gain some flexibility over the next couple years if he signs the extension now. Okay. But if you look deeper and deeper and deeper into all of this, if he signs the extension now, he'll probably leave about $115 million on the table if he waited until next year. That's a lot of money. And you say this to me, Boom, why would he leave all that money on the table?
Hey, Boomer, why would he leave all that money on the table?
He would leave all that money on the table because his extension is most likely going to also include a player opt-out in the year of 2028. So what is happening right now in the NBA with all of their media rights deals?
Well, they just got a massive deal, and it's going to be with NBC and others, and then TNT has a right to match, but it's $76 billion. It's a lot of money. They just got a massive haul for their rights.
So he will sign his extension. His extension will kick in next year, but it will also have an opt-out in it in 2028. And when 2028 comes around, assuming that Jalen is still playing the way that Jalen has played since he's been here, and he gets better and he stays healthy, then he can sign a Supermax extension because he'll have been in the league for 10 years. And that Supermax extension could be over $400 million. So this is why today is Jalen Brunson Day. Jalen Brunson, I would put my money on it because it's the Knicks. It's not the Mets. It's not the Yankees. I know Aaron Judge is uber popular. Don't get me wrong. And every Yankee fan loves Aaron Judge, and rightfully so. And I think all of us Met fans respect Aaron Judge. But the Knicks have combined the biggest fan base. Nobody cares about the Nets, especially now.
That's right.
And the Knicks added Mikal Bridges. I would say that Jalen Brunson may be the most popular athlete in the city right now as we speak in the tri-state area.
That's fair to say.
Would you agree with me?
That is fair to say.
And I'm telling you that he'll sign his contract extension today. He'll be lauded for that like he should be because he will give the Knicks some flexibility over the next couple of years. But then, assuming now I believe he really is betting on himself. Now, you could say, don't sign the extension, bet on yourself and do it next year. Or bet on yourself now, get the extension, get some money that is going to be long-term, that is going to be guaranteed, set up your family, play great for the next 2 years, the 24-25 season, 26-27 season, and then opt out in 28, and then you can sign another Supermax extension because you've been in the league for 10 years.
Yes, and Jalen Brunson is going to be here one way or another, and that's the most important thing. And if he saves the Knicks some money in the short term when they've got this window that is now even bigger because of Mikal Bridges coming over here, that's great. But I really don't have to worry about him as a Knicks fan. I know he's going to be here, and the amount of money that he gets paid is great for him. The things I'm worried about with the Knicks are how they are replacing Isaiah Hartenstein. Is Mitchell Robinson going to be back? Is he going to be healthy? That right now, what I don't want to do, and this is in no way a negative Knicks take, it's just how I'm looking into the future with this, is what I don't want to do is be sitting here in the middle of the basketball season with the Knicks underachieving and saying, man, the reason why that happened is they never properly addressed that hole, and they thought that they could get away with it, and they haven't, and they got to do something at the trade deadline to be able to compete with the other good teams in the Eastern Conference. I want to see something this offseason that makes me feel better about losing Hartenstein and knowing Mitchell Robinson's probably going to miss 60 games.
Well, since it is Jalen Brunson Day, after all, I do believe he will sign his extension today, and the Knicks will have some clarity as to what their flexibility will be over the next 2 years, and then they can attend to figuring that part of it out, the things that are concerning you right now. So this is today is a day should be celebrated for Knicks fans. Today should be a day that Jalen Brunson should be appreciated and celebrated because two things are happening. One, he is getting paid for the performance that he has given us and that we all appreciate and respect. Number two, he is giving the Knicks a amount of flexibility that they're going to need over the next 2 years in order to do what you're talking about. And then he is betting on himself because in the 28-29 season he can opt out, and then he will, assuming he plays the way he has played over the last couple of years and continues to get better and stays healthy, he can sign a Supermax $400 million contract, which would be amazing for him. So I believe that today he signs, and for all of those reasons. And I think now the Knicks, with a couple of years of clarity with that contract, with the OG Anunoby contract, then they can start looking down the pipeline of the future of their franchise with the Julius Randle contract, with the Mitchell Robinson contract. I think they're going to be counting on, believe it or not, I know this is not going to excite you at all, but I think they're going to be counting a lot on Jericho Sims, at least going into summer camp and into the fall, and hopefully he is going to get a little bit better, just like Lafreniere has gotten better for the Rangers. They're hoping that Kako gets better. They're hoping that Heedle gets better unless they trade those guys this offseason, which is a potential possibility for them. But you want to wait and see if all of your young guys are getting better each and every year. And maybe Jericho Sims is a guy that they're going to give some more minutes to, and they're going to count on if they're unable to fill the backup center position the way that you would like them to do.
Yeah, talk about a feel-good summer Friday if you're Jalen Brunson. And I know that people will look at it like they did face value, and he explained how down the road he could make even more money by taking the less dollars or fewer dollars today by signing this extension. But, I mean, you just had this really, really good season. Obviously, it ended in disappointment against the Indiana Pacers, but a great season. You're as popular as anybody in the city, and you get this massive extension in the summertime on a Friday. I wonder if his direct deposit hits today, too, when he signs that thing. Does it just go right in there, bang, and he's like, all right, let's go.
Just remember, it's an extension, so it starts next year.
All right, but still. He's got to have some. Maybe do they do signing bonuses in the NBA? I don't know. He's got to get something today. And you know what, Jalen Brunson,
he's got to get an attaboy and a nice pat on the back, and he's going to know that he's got, at least at this point, he's got life-altering money. He's already made life-altering money, but this just expands that. And then he'll know in a few years he'll be able to opt out of the current extension and sign an even bigger one, assuming that, because to me, even though he signs the extension today and it doesn't look like he's betting on himself for next year's free agency, essentially he's betting on himself that in 3 years he's going to be able to opt out and sign an even bigger contract, which is what he should do and what I believe he will do.
Yeah, good, and he's earned every dollar, in my opinion.
I
so
agree.
Good for
I
him.
agree 100%.
There's a lot of big money in sports, and sometimes we don't understand it. Most of the time we don't understand it. How is this guy getting paid that much? Jalen Brunson's one of those guys I don't mind at all when I see that giant number attached to him because I know he wants to win. I know he does everything in his power to try to win. He's a guy, too, like he's not like James Harden, where if James Harden gets an extension, he's going to go out to Vegas and pop bottles, and you're not going to see him for 3 weeks. Jalen Brunson's probably just going to go to like a Pilates class or something to work on his flexibility, you know?
Well, we know he's not going to Central Jersey.
That's
we
right.
We know that for a fact.
He believes it doesn't exist.
Right.
That is correct.
Yeah, there's South Jersey, Central Jersey, North Jersey, and Rusty Jersey.
Rusty Jersey.
Rusty Jersey's right across the river from us. Not Jersey City, just a little bit further south.
Yes.
Although I do think that outside the Holland Tunnel is a little rusty for me. But that's a discussion for another day. But yesterday was great. I had my two grandkids with me yesterday, and Kazzy had not been to a baseball game yet, and he was all fired up. And when he got home last night, he couldn't wait to pick up the bat and start playing baseball.
That is awesome, man.
So he was, he took it all in, and little Winnie was there for a while, and she had been to a baseball game before. So she had met Mr. and Mrs. Met.
Okay.
She had met them, and so she's seen them again. She was all excited about that. But it's a little tough watching a baseball game when you have so many little kids running around.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tough to do anything when you've got a lot of little kids running around.
So the most amazing thing happens, Al. We're sitting there, we're watching a game, and my nephew, Randy, is in the doorway of the suite, and he's watching his daughter, Aria, and the other kids, and it's a little bit of a mishmash because there's food all over the place and everything. You and I are sitting at the top of the seats because that suite has seats, if you remember, and we're sitting at the seats. If you remember, like I think Craig Carton used to look at us and talk to us with his back to the game when the game was going on.
Correct.
This was kind of like Randy, but Randy was in between me and Gio. Because Gio and I are trying to watch the game, and Torrens is up, the backup catcher, because Francisco Lindor wasn't playing the day after. I mean, Alvarez wasn't playing the day after the night game. And all of a sudden, a foul ball comes, and it comes over the net, and it comes screaming right into our
And the
suite.
odds of this, by the way, with the height of the net and then the awning above us and the trajectory of the ball, to me, it was a less than 5% chance that a ball could come screaming into the suite in the way that it did.
And I would say within 5 minutes, there had been kids standing there. And if one of those 2 to 5-year-old kids were standing there, this ball would have hit them right in the forehead.
Well, no.
But
What would have
Gio and I
happened is
would
we
have
would have
jumped with
sacrificed ourselves to make sure that didn't happen because we kind of did. So the ball comes flying over the net. It is at a pace that is dangerous. There's no two ways about it. Me and you see it coming, and we both do the same exact thing. We put our hands out and then look for children. And then we see no children, so we pull our hands back because we don't want to get hit by this thing. And then we go, look out, because Randy wasn't looking. And then all of a sudden, it slaps Randy on the leg. And he had a welt with stitches on his leg. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Was this his leg or was this his ass?
No, it was his leg.
It was like lower, upper ham.
It was
upper
right
ham.
here on his thigh.
Oh,
Like
it was.
lower
Okay.
thigh right above
Oh,
the knee.
man, it sounded like.
Yeah, to me, it sounded like a ball peen hammer hitting a ham hock. You know? That's what it sounded like. So it was amazing. And he was just like, okay. And he's a big guy in shape. Like stuff like that doesn't faze him.
Squats.
He does a lot of squats and stuff like that didn't faze him. So it bounces off his thigh and then right in front of me. So I have the ball and I'm like, all right, what kid gets the ball now? Because you got all these kids. And I'm like, well, it's got to be Randy's daughter, Aria, because he took the pain.
He took one for everybody else.
Right, he took the pain for us to have the ball, so she got it.
I was thinking, like, if he wasn't standing there.
Oh, it would have gone right, yeah.
And that could have hit like 5 kids.
Oh, without a
It could
doubt.
have been ricocheting all over the place.
I mean, that would have been something else. Imagine just screaming kids and paramedics up there. That would have just been the worst.
I have to tell you, it was like, it was one of the funnier things I've seen in a long time. I mean, that was hilarious, actually.
Oh, God. I mean, and it's funny because, like, you don't know. There's just instinctual things that you do when there's children around, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, to look and then put you like, I'll take it if I have to, but I don't want to have to.
I don't want to have to
And
take
then
it.
you see the kids are not around. You're like, okay, see, I'm getting out of the way
I
here.
had my left hand out there going, oh, my God, that's golf summer right there.
Yeah, I
Broken
know.
hand, the whole thing. Forget it, I'm done.
I know. I was thinking don't I put my arms out, but I'm like, try not to catch it if you have to. Like turn around and take it in the back if you have to. But it was screaming up there too.
Yeah.
And it was funny because Terrence also fouled one off the screen in that same at bat.
Right before that,
we were like, oh man, that was close. The next one, boom, there it was, right up in there. But that was great. So thanks to the Mets and Andy Goldberg and. The staff was just tremendous there yesterday. Everybody was so nice. I was like, wow, you guys are so nice. I guess that's what winning does.
Yeah, they even sent in Todd Zeal to see us.
Yeah, we got Todd Zeal. We got Mr. and Mrs. Met. We had the dessert cart. Everything was great, man.
I mean, I've never seen so many M&Ms and cotton candy downed in such a short period of time.
It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And, of course, the drive home, they were so My girls were so well behaved. I had the best time with them. Sabrina was into the game. There was actually one point where I was back in the suite, and I was like, I wonder where Sabrina is. And she went back to the seats, and she's sitting there watching the game by herself. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. So I had this great time with them.
So it seems like you got a pretty good future there with her.
Yeah.
I mean, Summer's a little bit younger, and, she follows Sabrina around like it's...
Yeah, exactly.
That's
her hero, exactly. Yes. So it was great. But then the car ride home, the two of them were just the pits. Like, they're fighting with each other. They're hitting each other. They're throwing. So I'm just like, we had a great day, and you're ruining it. You're ruining it. I want to have good memories of today. The two of you are ruining it. So we get home, both timeouts, guaranteed. I don't want to go on a timeout. Well, I don't want to listen to you either. It's just, I got to pee. We're on the Southern State Parkway. I'm not pulling over so you can pee. But, Daddy, I have to go. I can't hold it. All right, here, get off the Southern State Parkway. Went to some dead-end road somewhere. We have a portable potty in the car. So the two of them are peeing at a dead end. As I'm like,
Giannotti family.
I was like, everything. It was the greatest day until it wasn't. On that ride home.
Well, that's what happens, man.
Why is it taking so long? Why are there so many cars?
So I guess this means that Gina got a ride in with the children.
Yes, she did. I ended up driving back, and my friend.
Because you were going to have a nice solo ride home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I know. That's one thing I said, too. I was like, I used to think my commute was bad, but I have a different perspective now because I am by myself.
Like Monzo.
Yeah.
Take the long way home.
Take the long way home, exactly. And I've said this before, but my favorite Monzo thing is when he would go outside and pretend he would just start the lawnmower and keep it next to the window. And then just scroll through his phone outside.
So how many kids does he have?
8. 7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Yeah,
or
I'm not sure. I lost count at 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe it's 7 or 8, which is I can't even imagine.
I couldn't imagine either. All I think about is like long-term financial commitments.
Oh, jeez.
That's all I think about.
I mean, listen, I know.
I'm glad to have you kids, but man, oh my God, I'm going to have to work until I'm like 90.
Yeah, but great day. So thank you for inviting us, and everybody had a wonderful, wonderful time. And it really gives you a different perspective on being at a baseball game when you bring your kids there for the first time.
And your team wins.
Oh yeah, and just
Brandon Nimmo comes through again, and they almost blew it. I mean the parade of relievers again.
Yeah, right. And it was funny because another thing that I really enjoyed was when Sabrina looked at me. She goes, "Are we winning?" Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're winning.
We are winning. We're not on the team, but I'll take it.